understand when I was growing up, and this was true at every house, back then, there was always kids running around the street playing. And I remember seeing either the light flashing on my porch or my dad yelling, "Get home, it's time for dinner." And everybody went to the house and in their home they had a dinner made. There was Kentucky Fried Chicken and churches, but it was rare we ate that stuff. We didn't eat fast foods. We ate stuff that our parents made for us, or either our mother or father or sister, whoever. We ate at home. And there was always traditional stuff. Like I remember my father, when they'd buy flour, he'd buy a big old 25-pound bag at a time. Me, I'll buy 10 pounds. And that'll last me forever. And we used to go through flour like quite a bit. But we were healthier back then, I think, because we were out doing things. We weren't sitting in front of a TV playing games or just, we were out doing things. When I grew up here in El Paso, I remember we lived just maybe a quarter mile south of I-10. And everything north of I-10 was desert. So as kids, we'd go over there with our BB guns and we'd actually camp out in the desert. They'd put up a little tent and we'd sit out there and build fires. And the fast food we ate then was the Vienna sausages. That was our fast food then. If you went to McDonald's, you were lucky. Back then, you were given a quarter, and that quarter he would get you to the swimming pool. After the swimming pool, you could get to 60 food crowd. You get a Chico stick, a Dr. Pepper, or a pickle. I used to like the big pickles that were a nickel. And that was our fast stuff. Back then, you don't see that now. Now, a Coke is like $1.75, $2. I'm like, Jesus, man, we used to buy a Coke for 25 cents, get a swimming pool for 10 cents. And see, back then we were more active. I think the reason now is because now we've become a lazier society. It's easier to run to McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or Whataburger and go back to burger. And yeah, don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're bad for you. They're very fattening. Even McDonald's, because their fries were so fantastic, well, they found out they were cooking them in lard. That's saturated fat, man. That's just bad news. We don't use that to our kids nowadays. We use vegetable shortening than anything else. But they were using lard. And yeah, lard is, man, this is delicious. Just like bacon. Everybody loves bacon. But not good for you. You know? And I think that's one of the things seems to change is nowadays you don't see stuff like that. Back then, my mom would buy a head of lettuce. She'd buy tomatoes, onions, and she would make the salads. Nowadays, salads in a bag. You just dump in a bowl and add your ranch or Italian, whatever you eat it with. It's not the same. Back then, they actually did things. Now we've become a society of convenience. It's easier to just go get this made. Oh, I'm just going to run and get a burrito. I'm just going to run and get a burger. I was going to get a bucket of chicken. And yeah, it's good, but not good for you. And people have forgotten that when you actually sit down, like when I do the chicken, I'll boil it, cook it, then I'll put it on the grill or I'll put it in a skillet and stir it up and put it in a salad. To me, that's a nice chicken salad. But it's fresh chicken. It's not this process, which I found out this is why Kentucky Fried Chicken had to remove the name. It's now KFC because their chickens were not chickens, it was processed chicken. A lot of people didn't know that. And I think that's one of the things about the foods today is they're trying to do things for convenience, but now you got this organic stuff coming in. And I don't know, like I say, once again, I go back to dairy. Organic milk. Pros and cons. Some people say, oh no, it's good because they don't do anything to it. And I said, well, it should be homogenized for people because actually it's not designed for people to drink. But some people say, no, it's good for you. Other people say, no, it's bad for you. I don't know. I don't try it. I've cut dairy out. I do miss the butter, the sour cream. You can't have a good baked potato without sour cream and butter. But I use olive oil now. It's better for you, and it's virgin olive oil, so that's better than butter. Well, the taste isn't, but health-wise it is. But so that's one of the things about today is that the foods have become more convenient, easier access, but way more expensive. As kids, I remember getting up in the morning, every morning, go out to our front porch, and there was a metal crate with glass bottles of milk, cheese, sour cream, and big blocks of butter. And back then, the milkman, well, you'd see him driving his truck, going to everybody's house and picking up your old ones and taking them and go fill them again. People don't remember that. As kids, we used to play in the haystacks at the dairies. They'd get mad at us because we'd pull off from the middle and we'd make a little room inside the haystacks. But see, nowadays that's all changed. It's not the same. Everything's different. I don't know if it's for the better or not. The conveniences, yeah, they're much nicer. I mean, the microwave cooking, man, that's good. It's quick. You can make a baked potato in a minute. When we were growing up, my dad always said baked potatoes should be cooked on coals, not in the oven. And so he would light the grill and he'd bury him in the coal. And that's the way we did it. We didn't do pork chops too much because my father didn't really care for pork. So other than ham hock for the beans or bacon, we didn't do a lot of pork chops and ribs and stuff like that they did nowadays. If we did, they were beef. Like I said, it was menudo. I loved it. Every Sunday we had menudo. And my mother, I learned from my mother how to make fresh francesitos, pan de huevo, empinadas. In fact, that dough I'm going to show today with sopillas, you can also use that for empinadas. But that does take a little bit of melted butter with sugar to brush on top to give it the glaze, if you choose to do that. Like I said, it just depends on what you want to do. I choose not to do that. Like I said, sopillas, some say that now they cover them in sugar and cinnamon. I prefer mine with honey. It's natural. Yes, it's from another animal, but hey, it's good. I don't mind stealing the honey. But I don't really care for them with cinnamon and sugar, but if that's what they want, I'll make them for them. That's what my grandkids like and my sister's grandkids. So I'll do them for them that way, but I prefer them regular. I suffered a heart attack, which kind of messed me up. From there, it went downhill. I had to change my diet. I had to change everything. Now, as for my diet, that has changed in the sense that I don't really use salt that much anymore. I decided to get off dairy because I started getting really bad stomach cramps from drinking a glass of milk, and I love milk. I love cheese, sour cream. I used to eat it all the time, butter. But I started getting sick, and one day I was talking to the doctor. He goes, "You getting stomach cramps, gas?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're lactose intolerant." I said, "Well, that's not." He goes, "No, you've always been." He goes, "But now your intestines, your stomach is finally worn down." He goes, "You're born lactose intolerant, but through the years of all this stuff, it is finally worn down on you." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Well, think about it." He goes, "The milk you drink is from an animal that is trying to fatten up its calf in less than a year's time." He goes, "And you're drinking that." He goes, "You're not supposed to drink that." He goes, "This thing, oh, milk's good for you." He goes, "It's not good for you." He goes, "Man is the only animal that drinks milk from another animal, from a goat, from a cow. No other animal does that, except us." So I said, "You know what? That makes sense." So I decided to get off dairy. And my wife said, "Yeah, me too. But we have big old blocks of Munster cheese." And she goes, I'm going to get up until we get rid of that. And my son said, "Well, I'll give it to my friend." And she's like, "You ain't giving nothing away." And I cook for the family, but if they want cheese, I'll shred it for them and they can add it to themselves. They want more salt, they can add their own salt. I pretty much leave salt alone. I use Mr. Dash. I'm not doing dairy anymore. I'll drink the almond milk, and it's not bad. It's funky in the coffee, but it's not bad. I'm not supposed to be drinking coffee because of the caffeine, but it's a bad habit I got, like a smoking cigarettes. It's just a bad vice I've got. But I have changed my diet. It hasn't really affected my family because, like I said, they want salt, I'll add salt. I still make the same foods, just as they put on what they want. If they want butter, they put butter. If they want cheese, they put cheese. And that's fine by me. To my wife, it's not good because it's bad for the bones, it's bad for the body, but it's her choice, you know.